All right, greetings everybody, and welcome to week number 8. That is right, week number 8 of your 9449 class, which is your business reference class and services to business communities class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. J.S.K. Austin, and the first thing I want to say is you made it. You made it. Thank you for joining me. We are going to do a quick state of the course update this week, including some final farewell words from me, and then also we will review the Net Advantage worksheet, and then I will leave you all to finish your work on your business plans and also whatever else you need to do as far as your quiz this week, and then also your discussion board prompt this week. So let's go ahead and get into that state of the course update. Hopefully this video will be 25 minutes or less unsped, and then sped up should be even shorter. So first of all, let's move all of this stuff out because we are already past May the 4th. So here are the things that you have left. Your Assist with a Business Plan assignment, that's going to be due on May the 11th. So that's going to be this coming Sunday. Also, all of this will be this coming Sunday. So also this coming Sunday, you will have your week 8 discussion board prompt, and we'll circle back to that because of this pivot option. I will mention that in a second. And then finally, you will have a wrap-up worksheet that is actually a quiz. It's, I believe, a multiple choice quiz. So that's probably going to be a little less time consuming than the worksheets you've been doing throughout the semester. And that is so that you can continue on with your business plan assignment, okay? Now, as far as your assignment for week number 8, let's come over here. I mean, your discussion board prompt for week number 8, I'm sorry. So yes, for those of you who, there were a few of you who worked ahead and you worked as much as you could on the basic certification for taxes, but we also see, and I do think, I believe it was Kate, I do thank the student who went with the Wayback Machine to actually get the digitized, I guess, archive of those pages and everything, and she was able to determine that yes, it looks like the changes were made in 2025, January 2025, which, yeah, I did not run into that problem. The last time I taught this class was spring of 2023, and the whole thing was fine, and nobody complained about having to do it and that sort of thing, aside from, you know, they would have wanted to start on it a little earlier, so I did give the indication that you all could do that in this particular course. But again, now we've got the broken links and everything and the issues that we didn't have back in 2023. So for 2025, you've got this pivot option if you want it, and I see that a lot of you have already jumped on it as far as just doing a reflect and review on this particular video from the IRS, and I'll have to redo the assignments for 2027 as far as tax stuff. So hopefully there will still be an IRS in 2027, and hopefully there will still be a federal government in 2027 and all the other things, but we will see what happens, okay? All right, so yes, that is it as far as state of the course and what is coming up and what is expected of you. But know, of course, that I am tirelessly grading for the next 2.5 weeks until the grade deadline. I will be grading, and I will be doing all of that to get those grades in on time. And so all of the I know that there are a few back discussion board prompts that have not been graded, and I've also not graded your review and reflection of a nonprofit video assignment. So that will be coming up on the horizon as well. It's all coming. Just give me a moment. All right. A lot going on, but I am here for you. All right. What else do I want to mention in this moment? Yes. So as far as state of the course update and me talking about a few closeout things, this is really mostly my sentimental stuff, actually. So what I want to say is that I'm very glad that you all elected to take this course. This course tends to have trouble making, and by making, what we mean by that is getting enough people to sign up for it that we will actually offer it. We do typically need at least 10 people to sign up for a course in order to offer it, and usually, because this again is only the 3rd time I believe that I've taught this course since I've been here. It's either the 3rd or the 4th, but it hasn't been very many. And so yeah, it's the third, I believe. But anyway, what I'm saying there is to have 26 of you sign up to take this course was absolutely amazing. That's more than I expected. I was very humbled by the interest in the course, and I do hope that all of you got something out of it. I do try to put some real learning scenarios in here, so that's why you have to review the Stomper. That's why you have to do the worksheets and that sort of thing. But I also just really wanted this class to be vocational guidance. I wanted you all to get a sense of what you would do day to day as a business librarian, either in a public library or academic library. And I just wanted you all to get like a really good feel for that sort of thing. And I mean, yeah, I wanted you all to leave this class with an additional skill set, with a good understanding and appreciation of the Celia Ross text, which I think is one of the best texts out there, for not just for business reference, but for librarianship in general, because it is so concise and it's something that you can just open up in real time while you're on the desk and get some things kind of hashed out with that as a guide. But yes, again, I'm just very humbled and thankful that you all signed up for the class, to have 26, to have one over the cap, because the cap was 25 and I wound up with 26 of you. And having that happen in a class that usually doesn't even get enough students to sign up to teach the class, I was just happy beyond words, y'all. So thank you so much for that. I do want to offer this class every other spring. One thing that I would actually skip that. No, never mind. I'm not going to put that on you. But yeah, I do want to offer this class every other spring. And so in order to do that, yes, I do need people to participate, and I do need to have these refresher opportunities where I dive back into the class, improve it a little bit, and, you know, just dive into it so that I can remember exactly how to teach the class and then teach it as effectively as I can. So it meant a lot to me that so many of you signed up, okay? I know that a lot of you, this will be your last class in the program. For those of you who are signing off on the program and about to graduate, good luck to you, and you know, we'll probably see each other at conferences or that sort of thing. So in this field, it's never goodbye until you die. It's just see you later, okay? And so yeah, for those of you who are graduating, I will see you later. For those of you also who decide that you're not going to take any more classes with me, I will see you all later, whether you decide you just don't like me as a professor, or if you decide, well, I like them, but I've taken all the classes I can take with them. That's fine. I'll meet up with you at some point in the future as well, I am sure. And then for those of you who do like me as a professor and are not leaving the program, I would love to see you again. So if you want to take one of my other classes, by all means, join me and we can load it up and do it all again. But just thank you. I'm very appreciative of you all helping me, because by allowing me to teach this class, you're helping me maintain my competence in teaching the class. And so I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, all the things, just bless you and thank you and have a great summer and all those things. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into this review of the NetAdvantage worksheet, and then you will be left to your own devices, but I am in a message or email away if you need me. And again, thank you. So let's get into NetAdvantage. All right, one moment. I just got to pull up the database. Okay, actually, I'm going to pause it right there. All right, so let's get into it. This is NetAdvantage right here, and you will have information on public and private companies in this particular database. But if you need information specifically on private companies, then Priveco is your way to go. Okay, Priveco stands for private company, and so that's the database that if you're using if you're trying to get publicly traded companies, then Mergent or NetAdvantage is a good way to go. And then if you're looking for your information on your private companies, then you go to Priveco, but you've got some information in NetAdvantage on your private companies as well. So our first question is, what is the company Pfizer's credit rating grade, and where did you find this information? So what you would do for this is you can type in Pfizer up here, click search. We're actually going to go to this top one here, and it is a public company, Pfizer Incorporated. And you will be brought here. You've got a public company profile, yada, yada, yada. And then you can come over here and you can go to credit ratings. And when you go to credit ratings, you will be brought here. And so I would have accepted either A or A1. These are from 2023, so hopefully we'll get some newer information soon from 2024. But you've got this information here, and so A or A1 would have been acceptable answers on this one. All right, so the next thing is, the next question is find the cosmetic stores industry profile, find the top 100 professionals, and who is the first person listed and how much was this person's total calculated compensation and how did you find this information? All right, so I'm just going to copy and paste this guy and bring him over here. What was that? Okay. And that does default us right into the cosmetic stores industry profile. Again, I understand how it can get confusing with markets and industries, so that's why I had that helpful markets research versus industry research piece for you all to read earlier in the semester. And so now that we are here, we are going to go to key professionals. And as you can see, it says top 100 professionals here. And I think they calculate they calculate top 100 professionals by total calculated compensation. I think that's how that's done. And so our answer is Denise Paulonis. And what else will we ask for? How much was this person's total calculated compensation? That was, I may have to move myself over here. $7,538,897. Okay. So that is something that I wish I was making, but hey, I will be happy with the salary that I do make because millions are doing much, much worse. All right. So our third question, and why do I look like I'm disappearing all the time? Hold on. Okay, if you can't see me, I apologize. Now I can see me. My recording software, again, was getting a little wonky. I'm sorry about that. Question number 3 was access the Europe geography profile. What company is the top gainer listed under stock performance? And what currency is being used for this entry? How did you find this information? All right. So we're going to go back in. And I'm actually just going to put Europe in this search here. And load. And it was asking us for what now? The geography. So geography profile, you got here profiles tab, and you've got geographies under the profiles tab. So you go to geographies there, and there you have it, Europe geography. And when you do that, come on, baby. When you do that, sorry, you all. All right, I'll pause this, folks. Okay, I have no idea why that took so long to load, and it took like 2 minutes, so I'm glad I paused that. But yeah, it took a long time to load. Here we go again. What company is listed as the top gainer listed under stock performance? So stock performance is right here, so you're going to look for your top gainer, and it's going to be this guy right here, this first one. And what we're going to see, and the top gainer is defaulted into change here. So as you can see, 400% change, that sort of thing. Year to date, not doing so well, but the change right there is fine. And this answer might be different depending on what day you actually did the assignment. So if you didn't get this particular answer, don't worry. That's why I asked you for the process. All right, so what currency is being used and what company is it? The company is this company here, which is Planet Home Investment. And it appears that they are using the euro. Okay, let me, excuse me. All right. Okay, yeah, sorry, that part isn't even listed. The actual currency. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was like, I know it's listed. All right, there it is, the euro. Okay, so it's right there. And again, this is, if you wanted to know a little bit more about your company, they've got Planet Home Investment DE there, and you could go into the link if you wanted to, but this is the company, Planet Home Investment AG, and again, the currency that's being used is the euro. And okay, I don't know if that's Dutch or whatever it is, but we don't have to read it. All right, and finally, what are some what option under the companies tab will take you to a listing of 10Ks, 10Qs, 8Ks, and S1s? Yes, what option would that be? Let's go back home. Now let's go to companies, and this is the companies tab. And as you can see, this is probably something that looks a little familiar from Emergent. You see filings and annual reports. And when you click that, you will see you've got 10Ks and 10Qs, you've got 8Ks, and you've got S1s, and you have proxies. I don't even know what proxies are, but anyone who knows can tell me, and I would appreciate that knowledge for sure. Okay, so there you go. Those are the answers to your next to the last worksheet right there. And now there are a few other things that I just want to tell you in general. All right, so finally there are a couple things that there are two free over the web websites that I usually mention, and again, I would appreciate some grace from you all. I usually mention these earlier in the class, and I didn't this time around. Again, this class, I'm not really as polished with this class as my other classes because I teach it so infrequently, so I apologize for that. But there are two websites that I want to tell you all about, and they are very helpful websites that you should have in your toolbox. So let's go ahead and check those websites out. The first is going to be quickmba.com. And Quick MBA is good because, no, don't get me wrong, these days you can Google, your business terms and everything, and you can get a great Wikipedia page and all that. But Wikipedia pages, as we all know, we don't know exactly who is editing them and that sort of thing. And then some are super long because they have a lot of information in them and so forth and so on. So if you're looking for something that's a little more controlled, you can use this as kind of like a dictionary and encyclopedia, Quick MBA, for business terms. Okay, so for terms that you would need to know in order to get an MBA, you can actually have, you can look up a lot of those terms in here, and it can be very, very helpful. So industry concentration, for instance. So you can get a concentration ratio, sort of an explanation of what that is, and then you can get recommended reading if you need more information on that, so forth and so on. And so there are, again, a lot of terms that you can get in here, and they've got different tabs of different classifications of terms. So you've got accounting, you've got finance, management, marketing, so forth and so on. And once you select one of the tabs, you can kind of see the listing of terms that they've got there. So I do recommend having Quick MBA in your toolkit, my friends, and that is something that you can kind of refer to, again, if you need a definition and sort of a summary, a comprehensive explanation of a term without getting too deep into it. And then the last thing that I want to show you all is the last thing I wanted to show you all was Good Jobs First. And this is another thing that I tend to show earlier in the semester, and I just kind of spazzed out this time around. And again, I apologize for that. But Good Jobs First, this can be very useful to find bad information about companies, information that these companies don't necessarily want to be at the forefront of the public eye. You can find that information here. The violation tracker is a big one, and so let's actually look, because what do you think, not that I'm trying to pick on a company, because I'm sure all of you, or a lot of you at least, have a loved one that works for this company, but think of a company that might have a lot of violations. What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? That's right. Y'all know what I'm about to put in. So yeah, you can put in a company. I don't think you have to select, let's see. Yeah, you don't even have to select, but you can select to kind of narrow this down, because there are a lot of violations when it comes to Walmart over the years. And what you can do is with each of these, you can just kind of, I think you click on the penalty amount in order to, get some good information on exactly what happened, what the violation was, and that sort of thing. So the violation tracker is something that a lot of people use to kind of vet these companies and see what they're dealing with. But you also have a subsidy tracker, a tax break tracker, and an Amazon tracker, which I've never actually even used. And you've got some other resources as well. So this is another one to have in your toolkit. And just have it in your toolkit, and I will put these two things in a link. I will link them in the announcement. Okay. All right. So that is it for me. I am Dr. J. As you have finished this race, be proud of yourself. And again, I hope that I have you all, at least those of you who are continuing and not graduating this spring or this summer, I hope that I will have you in future semesters. But until then, take care.